The Joker has died more than almost any other villain in comic book history. But each death is unique, chaotic, and unforgettable, just like the man himself. The Joker's deaths are as infamous as his crimes. From his first appearance in Batman #1 to his most brutal confrontations with the Dark Knight, these moments reveal the madness that defines him. Here are 9 times the Joker died, and why each one still haunts Gotham. The Joker's first death came in his very first appearance, all the way back in Batman #1. The story introduces him as a sadistic mastermind, terrorizing Gotham with his Joker venom, a toxin that leaves his victims with grotesque, permanent smiles. The climax takes place on a rooftop, where Batman and Robin corner the Joker. Armed with a knife, the Joker fights back ferociously, laughing maniacally as he lunges at Batman. But in the chaos, the knife turns against him. It plunges into his chest, and he collapses, clutching the wound as his laughter fades into silence. The panel shows him lying still, seemingly lifeless. But behind the scenes, DC editors decided the Joker was too good a villain to kill off permanently. So, they rewrote his fate off-panel, allowing him to survive and return for more chaos. This first death set the tone for the Joker's legacy, a villain who always finds a way back. Following the Joker's debut in Batman #1, the creative team, Bill Finger, Bob Kane, Jerry Robinson, and George Roussos, realized they had something special. They decided to bring the Joker back immediately in Batman #2, alongside another iconic villain introduced in the first issue, Catwoman. The story begins with the Joker recovering in the hospital after his rooftop stabbing. Batman, in an uncharacteristic move, hatches a plan to kidnap the Joker and have him operated on to cure his insanity. But things spiral out of control when the mob tries to free the Joker to lead them, and Catwoman gets involved in her own schemes. The chaos culminates in a fiery showdown at a castle. The Joker, true to his unpredictable nature, sets the entire structure ablaze with flaming arrows. Batman barely escapes the inferno, leaving behind an unconscious Joker as the castle is consumed by flames. Logic would dictate that the Joker died in the fire, but this is the Joker we're talking about. Catwoman also gets her own "did she just die?" moment when she dives into the water below, adding to the drama of the issue. In Detective Comics #45, titled "The Case of the Laughing Death," the Joker returned with a brand new scheme, this time hiding in plain sight as a seemingly mild-mannered music store owner. Written by Bill Finger, with art from Bob Kane, Jerry Robinson, and George Roussos, this story showcased the Joker's theatrical flair for murder. Posing as the music store owner, the Joker secretly worked with a group of gangsters who had no idea they were taking orders from the Clown Prince of Crime himself. True to his style, the Joker devised a series of music-themed murders. The most chilling one involved a special record that released deadly gas as soon as the needle hit the vinyl. The twist? The gas was only potent enough to kill the first person who played it. It was a darkly creative touch that only the Joker could pull off. But, as always, the Joker's greed got the better of him. He double-crossed his own men and set his sights on stealing a valuable statue aboard an ocean liner. Batman and Robin tracked him down, but the chaos that followed was pure Joker. As Batman and the Joker fought amidst the confusion, the ship's passengers, who weren't from Gotham and didn't recognize Batman, weren't sure who the real villain was. The battle ended with Batman recovering the statue and delivering a decisive blow that sent the Joker tumbling into the ocean below. For a moment, it seemed like the Joker had finally met his end, lost to the depths of the sea. But, as we know, the Joker always finds a way back, proving once again that chaos is never so easily silenced. Next up, the Joker's next appearance in Batman #4, The Case of the Joker's Crime Circus, started by addressing the question everyone had after his ocean plunge: how did he survive? Written by Bill Finger, with art from Bob Kane, Jerry Robinson, and George Roussos, the story revealed that the Joker had miraculously landed near a piece of driftwood. Clinging to it, he floated back to Gotham City, utterly shocked to still be alive. But the Joker wasn't one to waste a second chance. This time, he came up with a new scheme, disguising himself as a circus clown, which, let's be honest, wasn't much of a stretch, and teaming up with a powerful strongman. Together, they orchestrated a series of crimes under the guise of a traveling circus. Their plan was simple but devious. They would perform private circus shows at the homes of Gotham's wealthiest residents, using the opportunity to case the properties. Later, they'd return to rob the homes. Batman eventually figured out the scheme and, along with Robin, tracked the Joker to his haunted house hideout. There, the Joker briefly captured Robin, but Batman managed to rescue his sidekick and confront the clown prince of crime. The showdown ended with Batman seemingly defeating the Joker by kicking him down a long trap door, sending him plummeting into the darkness below. But by this point, even the dynamic duo were starting to doubt whether the Joker could truly be killed, and they were right to wonder. Once again, the Joker survived, proving that his knack for cheating death was as relentless as his criminal insanity. Fifth on our list is a dramatic showdown at a lighthouse. In Batman number 5, The Riddle of the Missing Card, Batman and Robin were beginning to think they might have actually seen the last of the Joker. The story opens with Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson musing about how quiet things had been, with Bruce even expressing some surprise that the Joker might truly be gone this time. But, as always, the Joker had other plans. It turned out he had survived his plunge through the trapdoor in Batman number 4, landing in the sewers below. There, he was rescued by a group of criminals who were searching the waterway for stolen jewels they had stashed away. Never one to miss an opportunity, the Joker quickly took over the gang, made up of 3 crooks, conveniently named after playing cards: Queenie, Diamond Jack, and Clubby. Together, they opened a casino, using it as a front to rob their wealthy patrons. When Bruce Wayne went undercover to investigate the casino, Queenie unexpectedly fell in love with him. Her feelings for Batman led to a dramatic betrayal as she turned on her comrades to save his life. Tragically, her decision cost her dearly. She was shot dead as a double-crosser. The story came to a head at a lighthouse, where Batman and Robin tracked the Joker for a final showdown. This time, it was Robin who had the chance to take down the clown prince of crime. In the end, the boy Wonder seemingly killed the Joker, sending him plummeting from the lighthouse into the waters below. But by now, the dynamic duo knew better than to assume the Joker was truly gone. And, as expected, the Joker would live to fight another day, his uncanny ability to cheat death becoming as infamous as his crimes. Number 6 brings us to a high-speed battle atop a moving train. In Batman number 7, Wanted Practical Jokers, the story opened with Dick Grayson once again questioning whether the Joker had survived his latest apparent demise, this time his fall from the lighthouse. Bruce Wayne's response? A simple, good question. But unlike previous stories, this time there was no explanation offered for how the Joker survived. This time, the Joker recruited a group of well-known practical jokers to join his gang. In true Joker fashion, though, he made sure to frame them for murder first, leaving them with no choice but to work for him. These crooks became literal practical jokers, each donning Joker disguises to confuse Batman and throw him off the trail of the real clown prince of crime. Despite the chaos, Batman and Robin managed to uncover the Joker's plan and track him down. The story culminated in a thrilling battle atop a speeding train as it barreled through the mountains. In the end, Batman delivered a powerful punch that sent the Joker plummeting off the train to his apparent death. But by now, the dynamic duo were growing increasingly frustrated. No matter how many times they seemingly defeated the Joker, nothing seemed to keep him down for long. And, as always, the Joker would return, proving once again that his madness and resilience were as unstoppable as ever. Sometimes, the Joker's deaths are as theatrical as his crimes. For number 7, we find the Clown Prince of Crime taking his schemes to the skies, only to end with a fall that left readers gasping and Gotham wondering if this time he was truly gone. By the time Batman number 8 rolled around, the creative team had stopped even trying to explain how the Joker survived his apparent deaths. But that issue also marked a significant turning point. It was the first time the Joker was arrested, rather than seemingly killed off at the end of a story. Fast forward to Batman number 12 and the story The Wizard of Words, and readers were beginning to accept that the Joker would always survive, no matter what. Or so they thought. In this story, written by Bill Finger, with art by Bob Kane and Jerry Robinson, the Joker was inspired by one of his henchmen to start committing crimes based on wordplay. He took slang terms and interpreted them literally, using their meanings to torment his victims. This bizarre crime spree continued until Batman and Robin tracked the Joker and his gang to a dirigible. In a thrilling climax, Batman chased the Joker across the airship and punched him off, hurling him downward into the endless sky. Batman and Robin were convinced this time it really was the end of the Joker. Interestingly, this marked the end of the Golden Age tradition of the Joker falling to his death. From this point on, the Joker would simply be arrested at the end of his stories, a trend that would continue for the next 2 decades. This shift signaled a new phase in the Joker's evolution, as his survival became less about miraculous escapes and more about his enduring presence as Batman's most iconic foe. For number 8, we enter a much darker and more modern tale. In Batman, Legends of the Dark Knight, 142 to 145, Chuck Dixon, Jim Aparo, and John Cebollero delivered one of the strangest and most fascinating team-ups in Batman's history: the Joker and Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul, obsessed with raising the Earth and rebuilding it in his own image, had always been thwarted by Batman. Frustrated, Ra's decided that the only person twisted enough to bring his apocalyptic vision to life was the Joker. The Joker, of course, went along with Ra's plans, reveling in the chaos. But in the end, the Clown Prince of Crime knew that there would never be a place for him in Ra's al Ghul's new world order. Predictably, he turned on his ally, attempting to sabotage the plan. Ra's, however, was prepared for the Joker's inevitable betrayal. He ordered his daughter, Talia, to shoot the Joker dead, ending the partnership in true dramatic fashion. But the story didn't end there. Batman, desperate to stop the Al Ghuls from unleashing a deadly virus on the world, realized he needed the Joker's help to track them down. In a shocking twist, Batman dragged the Joker's lifeless body to the Lazarus Pit, the mystical pool capable of resurrecting the dead. The Joker's return to life was as chaotic as one might expect, but his temporary alliance with Batman added a fascinating layer to this already bizarre and gripping storyline. And finally, we reach number 9, the Joker's most apocalyptic death yet. The Joker returned in the epic storyline Endgame, Batman numbers 35 to 40. Written by Scott Snyder with art by Greg Capullo and Danny Miki. This time, the Clown Prince of Crime wasn't playing games, he was out for blood. The story began with the Joker deciding that Batman had betrayed him during the events of Death of the Family. In the Joker's twisted mind, their eternal struggle had meaning, a bond that transcended their roles as hero and villain. But when Batman seemingly denied this connection, the Joker snapped. His response? Fine, then I guess I'll just kill everyone. The Joker unleashed one of his most elaborate and devastating schemes yet, poisoning all of Gotham City with a specialized strain of Joker venom. He even weaponized members of the Justice League, turning them into Joker venomized assassins who nearly killed Batman. By the climactic finale in Batman number 40, Batman managed to save Gotham, but it came at a tremendous cost. He and the Joker faced off in the same cave system where their story had once begun. This time, however, there was no escape for either of them. As the cave collapsed around them, Batman did something unexpected. He apologized to the Joker. But before the clown could respond, he was struck by a falling piece of the cave. The two enemies seemingly perished together, their eternal struggle ending in a moment of tragic finality. Of course, this wasn't the literal endgame for either character, but it marked a significant turning point in their storied rivalry, leaving readers wondering if their battle had truly come to an end. And so, the battle continues. Batman and the Joker are more than just hero and villain. They're two sides of the same coin, forever locked in a war that neither can truly win. From explosive cakes to collapsing caves, from deadly viruses to twisted alliances, their stories remind us of the fine line between order and chaos, sanity and madness. But perhaps that's why we keep coming back, because no matter how many times they clash, no matter how many times one seems to fall, we know they'll always return to face each other again. After all, what is Batman without the Joker? And what is the Joker without Batman? Their rivalry isn't just legendary, it's eternal.